of the growing connection between Brazil and China, the B and the C of the BRICS Plus coalition. This is a group that hopes to rival the US-led G7.
The most important emerging economies in the world are the four BRICS: Brazil, Russia, India, and China.
It's not only that they're watching. Through the use of diplomatic tables and behind closed doors, they are making preparations. The BRICS alliance is laying the groundwork for its most ambitious move yet, with 34 countries signaling interest and 23 of them formally applying. The world's fastest growing economic bloc is about to change again, and the next 10 countries on their radar could reshape everything from oil flows to global banking. The future of BRICS. Back in 2009, BRICS started off as a 5-nation forum, a counterbalance to the Western-dominated G7. South Africa, Brazil, Russia, India, and China got together with the intention of establishing a new financial and geopolitical environment. This was their shared objective. However, what was formerly considered to be a symbolic group of rising countries is now commanding worldwide influence as a result of the historic expansion that took place in 2024. This expansion included the addition of Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, the United Arab Emirates, and Indonesia, transforming the BRICS alliance from a symbolic alliance into a superpower consisting of 10 members. This brand new lineup does not only represent a variety of geographical areas, this has a significant impact on international commerce, the generation of energy, and the population. It is also worth noting that the BRICS group has established a network consisting of 13 partner countries, which adds even another layer to its already complex structure. The discourse has turned once more, this time from who BRICS is to who BRICS will be in the future. This is because the group is currently evaluating its next steps. There was a rush of interest. As of this year, the alliance has received formal applications from 23 countries, and 11 additional nations have expressed informal interest in joining. These nations are from Latin America, Southeast Asia, and the Middle East. For what it signifies, a future that is independent of the currency, the International Monetary Fund, and Western pressure, countries are looking to BRICS. Indeed, it is not only economic. BRICS are seen by them as a means of achieving genuine independence, genuine opportunities, and a financial system that is tailored to their specific circumstances. Those 10 names that are at the top of that short list are not by chance. They are selected with great care, taking into consideration their geographical importance, economic potential, and the ways in which they may contribute to the long-term goal of BRICS. There are a number of countries that are being examined, including Uzbekistan, Bahrain, Malaysia, Turkey, Vietnam, Belarus, Sri Lanka, Mexico, Kuwait, Thailand, and Uzbekistan. Each of these countries contributes something essential to the table, including oil, gas, and region power. BRICS would have even more influence over pricing, supply, and distribution if it included Bahrain and Kuwait, 2 Gulf states that have built their fortune on oil. Both of these countries play a crucial role in global energy markets, and the addition of these 2 countries would offer BRICS increased influence. Not only are these nations endowed with huge oil reserves, but they are also emerging actors in the digital economy and the financial sector. Their presence has the potential to extend BRICS stranglehold significantly further into the Middle East, particularly when combined with the recent addition of Iran and the United Arab Emirates to the group. When it comes to geopolitics, energy control has always been a formidable negotiating chip. If Bahrain and Kuwait are included in the BRICS group, the organization will have a substantially greater amount of sway over the conversation around global oil. This is especially true considering that more than half of the world's proven reserves are currently represented within or associated with the group. The term BRICS refers to a collection of emerging economies that together account for more than 40% of the world's population and 25% of the world's economy, and more nations are interested in becoming members of the club that seeks to challenge a world order that appears to be dominated by the United States of America and its Western allies. In any case, what exactly are BRICS? Who wants to be a part of it, and why? In the year 2001, a chief economist at Goldman Sachs came up with the acronym BRIC, which was intended to emphasize the immense potential for growth that Brazil, Russia, India, and China possess. In 2009, the organization was established as a casual club with the purpose of establishing strategic latitude. The addition of Mexico would completely alter the course of events. Its economy, which is now tied tightly to the United States through the USMCA trade agreement, is one of the strongest in Latin America. Mexico's tilt to BRICS would send shockwaves across Western economic systems. Its economy is valued at over $1.5 trillion, making it one of the strongest in Latin America. A large footprint in Latin American markets, a region that has been impacted by Washington for a long time, would also be provided to the alliance as a result of this. A move of this nature would not merely be symbolic. In addition to providing genuine access to trade routes, ports, and a consumer market worth billions of dollars, it would also have the ability to readjust the political orientation of the region. And the BRICS nations are aware that it is the bridge that connects Eastern Europe. Belarus, which has been regarded for a long time as Moscow's most reliable ally in Europe, offers more than just devotion to the conversation. By doing so, it provides BRICS with a direct entree into the logistics of Eastern Europe. Policy, infrastructure, and connection are all important. In addition to this, it is an essential corridor that connects Asia and the European Union. And if tensions between NATO and Russia continue to rise, the value of its position is significantly increased. The incorporation of Belarus would help to establish a BRICS presence on the periphery of the European market, so establishing a strategic point of leverage that is both political and commercial in nature. In a region that has, up until this point, stayed solidly in the Western sphere, Asia, growing in Southeast Asia, three major challengers are under serious consideration: Thailand, Malaysia, and Vietnam. This adds depth to the multi-regional structure of the bloc and challenges the EU's supremacy in the region. With their major positions in the production of consumer goods, automobiles, and technological devices, these countries have already established themselves as global industrial hubs. Vietnam's exports reached about $370 billion in the previous year, while Malaysia continues to be one of the leading semiconductor producers in the world. Both of their economies are expanding at a rapid rate, and their political alignment is evolving as they seek more balanced relationships in a world that is no longer dominated by the dollar. Thailand is investing billions of dollars in the development of electric vehicles and digital infrastructure. The combined economic power and strategic location of the BRICS nations would provide them with unprecedented leverage in the Asian region. Then there is Uzbekistan, a country in Central Asia that is abundant in resources and is well positioned to become an important land bridge between China, Russia, and South Asia. With vast mineral reserves and a growing economy, Uzbekistan fits neatly into the BRICS vision of a connected Eurasian trade corridor. The strategically important position of Sri Lanka, despite the fact that Sri Lanka's economic problems have been front-page news, the country's topography tells a different narrative. One of the busiest shipping lanes in the world is located in the Indian Ocean, and its location is convenient. Both China and India have made significant investments in this marine gateway during the past few years.
They are leaving their mark on the international system. BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa are preparing for their next summit.
Since Russia's invasion of Ukraine, BRICS actually gained a second momentum.
Now there are calls for the group to grow.
We should start discussions around BRICS expansion.
But what exactly is BRICS and what does it want?
They take on a very big mission, which is to diversify the existing Western-led global financial system.
Lack of unity, lack of cohesion, mutual suspicion, all these things are very much there within BRICS.
The application of even more countries wanting to join signifies that there's something that the BRICS is doing right.
Correct. By becoming a member of the BRICS group, the island nation might be transformed from a crisis situation into a strategic asset for the new development bank, which is working toward increasing the amount of loans that are distributed in the local currency. Due to the fact that the economy of Sri Lanka is in need of infrastructure financing and the government is seeking for alternatives to Western lenders, Sri Lanka presents a perfect opportunity. One of the most important aspects of this expansion is the function that the new development bank plays as the BRICS financial engine. The new development bank was established in order to offer a credible alternative to the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund. The NDB is currently working to expand its lending programs and is promoting a significant effort that involves the issuance of loans in local currencies. This tactic is essential to BRICS' mission to de-dollarize the economy by providing funding options that do not include the use of the United States dollar. The National Development Bank gives its member countries the ability to lessen their reliance on foreign reserves and to circumvent the SWIFT system. This is the reason why these 10 countries are perfect. The National Development Bank is ready to provide currency transfers and financial power to all of these entities who require infrastructure, energy, or digital investment. Recent internal data indicates that the Chinese yuan is currently being used for approximately half of all transactions that take place within the BRICS nations. This is an important milestone, especially considering the fact that more countries are joining the fold, particularly those who are willing to forego the use of the dollar in their trade agreements. That amount is anticipated to see a significant increase. There is also a growing amount of discussion regarding the bloc's plans for a secret currency initiative, which could be a new digital unit for settlement within BRICS. Furthermore, although official details are still scarce, insiders suggest that this new financial architecture would enable BRICS countries to completely circumvent Western systems. It is possible that a platform that is built on blockchain technology and is secure might be the final instrument that BRICS needs to move beyond the statistics and become a global contender. Trade agreements and GDP rankings are not the only topics at hand here. To shape the future of global influence is the focus of this endeavor. Each of the 10 countries that made it onto the shortlist for BRICS offers a strategic challenge to the current order of things in the globe. As a whole, they are indicative of a rising disapproval of the previous system, which insisted that progress was contingent upon political conditions and that frequently meant servitude. This is not a case of these nations joining BRICS or S for the sake of reputation. IQ. They are coming together because the structure is effective. Their goal is to gain access to funding that does not need them to give lectures. What they want is for commerce to be unrestricted by penalties, and they want to have a say in the direction that globalization will go in the future. There is no denying the anxiety that Washington has, despite the fact that the United States of America and its allies have not made a great deal of public noise about it. In the course of the past year, American officials have increased their efforts behind the scenes to convince possible candidates for membership in the BRICS group. These efforts include the introduction of new military accords, security bundles, and offers of expanded trade relations. On the other hand, for a number of these countries, those offerings are beginning to feel like outdated solutions to contemporary circumstances.
Indonesia has officially joined BRICS as a full member, according to the Brazilian government's announcement on Monday, marking a significant expansion for the influential bloc. The new addition brings the total number of BRICS members to 10, which now includes Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and Indonesia, alongside recent entrants such as Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, and the United Arab Emirates. This enlargement reflects BRICS' growing influence among the emerging economies and its ambitions to reshape the global economic order.
In the wake of Trump's new tariffs, the world stage was set ablaze. To say that Donald Trump's return to the White House shook up Washington would be an understatement. It was his first significant economic move since taking office in January 2025, and it caused rippling effects to be felt throughout every trade and finance ministry throughout the planet. President Trump has slapped sweeping new tariffs that target a wide variety of different items. Neither of these were symbolic. There are tariffs of 50% on electric vehicles manufactured in China, 25% on semiconductors, 40% on steel and aluminum, and even 30% on some drugs that are imported from India and Brazil. There was no ambiguity in the message. America First is back, and it is more assertive. The White House defended the action by arguing that it was a method to protect American workers and businesses from unfair tactics. Nevertheless, the markets throughout the world came to a different conclusion. As a result, the reaction was swift and vehement all the way from Beijing to Brasilia. As being both short-sighted and disruptive, the Indian Ministry of Finance described it. China accused the United States of using economic dependence as a weapon, while South Africa's trade minister simply stated that we are finished playing by the rules that have been done in the past. BRICS nations were shaken not just by the tariffs themselves, but also by other factors. That is the logic of escalation that underpins them. The most recent action made by Trump appears to be more ideological in nature, in contrast to earlier trade battles that centered on deficits or subsidies. Because of this, many developing economies have been forced to reevaluate their potential business partners. It is about regaining control and restructuring the global supply chain according to the rules of the United States. The tariffs did not just provoke a political response, they sped up a transition that was already underway away from trade systems that are centered on the United States and towards something that is more multipolar, less dependent on the dollar, and much more difficult for Washington to dominate. Countries such as Mexico and Thailand, which have historically been close to Washington, are now considering the benefits of aligning themselves with BRICS+, where trade terms are seen as more balanced and less punitive. The United States may have failed to see the extent to which President Trump's strong posture is contributing to the same expansion of the BRICS nations that it fears, mainly because to the fact that when you exert such force, nations begin searching for ways out, and at this very moment, BRICS is the door that is wide open.
Nice to see you. We've had a great weekend, and as you know, we made our deal with the European Union. The Japan deal is done. Many of the other deals are done. Indonesia was a very big deal, big country actually. And they're wonderful, and hopefully wonderful for both sides. But it's literally trillions of dollars ultimately being brought into our country. And it was something that had to be done, and it is being done, and it's being done properly. We're now negotiating with various other countries, and the rest we're just sending out the bill to. We send a bill, we send a letter saying that you'll pay a certain tariff.
It is anticipated that if the BRICS nations provide their approval for the incorporation of Uzbekistan, Bahrain, Malaysia, Turkey, Vietnam, Belarus, Sri Lanka, Mexico, Kuwait, Thailand, and Uzbekistan, the organization would evolve into one of the most extensive international alliances on the globe. Every major region, including Asia, Europe, Latin America, Africa, and the Middle East, will be included, and the aggregate economic output of all of these regions will be capable of surpassing that of the G7 in terms of buying power parity. Furthermore, the message is unmistakable for the rest of the globe today. It is not necessary for you to pick between being submissive or being isolated. BRICS are the material of choice for the construction of a new table that is now being completed. For example, if nations such as Mexico and Vietnam were to join a group such as BRICS and S, do you believe that this would be beneficial to their economies, or would it introduce new risks? Please share your ideas with us in the comments section, and don't forget to subscribe to receive other in-depth analyses of how the world is transforming from the top down.